Thanks for watching this video blog on where we stand with this fascinating and confusing Goa elections, where the politics is as restless and turbulent as the Arabian Sea. Now look at how the wheel of fortune turns in Indian politics. When this campaign began, it appeared that in this messy, fragmented political landscape of Goa, it was advantage to the ruling BJP despite a perception of discontent. Number one, because the main opposition, the Congress, had completely collapsed, losing almost 15 of the 17 MLAs it had won in 2017, with most of them having either defected to the BJP or snapped up by political newbies and startups like the Trinamool Congress. And number two, advantage BJP because the non-BJP or the opposition vote seemed divided between all these different players, from the Trinamool to the Aam Aadmi Party to the Congress to regional and smaller outfits. Now, if you talk to people here, analysts and experts and the public sense, the mood seems to have shifted. It appears that the Congress, which had virtually collapsed, now seems to be climbing. The BJP seems to be struggling. And the Trinamool, after its Big Bang entry, seems to have started to disappear from the political scene. What are some of the factors that have led to this shift? Number one, Michael Lobo, who's a North Goa strongman from this region where we are, beautiful Candolim beach, defected to the Congress from the BJP. Now he's somebody who controls, they say, close to 5 of the 7 seats in this Bardes region. This is Goa's party central, and he is considered to be the king here. That sent shockwaves through Goa. The number two factor, many believed that even if they were to vote for the Congress, what does it help? Because the Congress's MLAs all defect. The Congress took an unusual step of getting its candidates to pledge that they will not defect. They took pledges in a mandir, a masjid and a church. And as if to show that they are walking the talk, when one of their MLAs who crossed over to the Trinamool, Alexio Reginaldo, when he wanted to come back, the Congress said, no, we will not take him back. So no defectors welcome, and also a pledge against defections. Factor number three, the BJP denying a ticket to MANOHAR PARRIKAR'S son Utpal from the Panjim seat. The late BJP veteran Parrikar had always fought from that seat. Utpal wanted it, but they instead gave it to Babush Montserrat, who defected from the Congress to the BJP and who's currently the sitting MLA of Panjim, saying winnability trumps sentiment. This again created ripples in Goa's always turbulent political waters. Factor number four, the Trinamool promised to come in with the promise of a Navi Sakal for Goa, a new dawn. But instead, they seem to have recruited old dons, DONS. People like Churchill Alemao and Luisine Falero. These are people who've crossed party lines number of times. They face multiple charges against them. It sent out a signal that did not match with the Trinamool's promise. The perception that the Trinamool was being run by Prashant Kishore's political consultancy, IPAC, were people dealing with a political party or a political consultancy. This Trinamool decline boosted the Congress's prospects, with many believing that they were actually interested in dividing the opposition vote, and so the anti-BJP vote started to consolidate around the Congress, to the point where the Trinamool, from attacking the Congress, was actually asking it for an alliance. And the last factor, under Manohar Parrikar, the BJP tried a more wide tent approach in Goa, reaching out to the state's 25 to 30% Christian community. Today, many believe that Parrikar model has somewhat been abandoned, and that may lead to this community again consolidating around opposition parties like the Congress. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that the wheel has completed its circle, because this is Indian politics, and as they say, a week is a long time in Indian politics. There are many other X factors at play. Number one, the BJP-RSS election machine, which is known to kick in, especially when it senses a threat, cannot be underestimated. Number two, in the event of a hung assembly, which many believe could well be the outcome once again in Goa, it could once again, like in 2017, be advantage BJP. So watch this space for how the story unfolds.